So EA is continuing to shoot themselves in the foot, and they're really screwing up, and now we have proof of how bad they're screwing up, and there's another story that I want to talk about of them being so stubborn on what they're doing in the market, basically, in the gaming industry, and it's really sad. So the first story I have to tell you about is that EA stock price has gone down a lot. And as I said in the past video, I told you that they went down about 2 or 3%, maybe 4%, in a time when the stock market is actually rising, and that's a lot. Like, it's a miracle that you can go down while the stock market value is going up in terms of everything else. So a CNBC investing report gives out an article saying, EA's day of reckoning is here after Star Wars game uproar, $3 billion in stock value wiped out. $3 billion. You know, that's that's a lot of money. No matter what company you are, that's a lot of money. I think Star Wars sold for like $4 to $7 billion from George Lucas. It was like a $4 billion, $7 billion contract. So $3 billion in stock value is completely gone. That is a huge amount of money. And it got worse because what I told you was that it was at 2 to 4% of stock value decreasing. Now it is at 8.5% of a decrease. It more than doubled in the time from my last video, which I believe was over or a little bit of a week ago. So in less than a week, it's gone down that much, and that's really concerning for EA, and that shows that, you know, they're really not in a chaos mode, but they're really taking hits from the gaming community. And there was even a what was it? Here it says one Wall Street analysis is not impressed from his checks during the recent crucial holiday week, and he says, and I quote, "We were underwhelmed by sell-through for Star Wars Battlefront 2 over the Black Friday weekend, which follows a controversial launch for the game." So they didn't even make what they wanted to for the Black Friday, where, you know, the game's supposed to be on sales and on discount and whatnot, and all this stuff is happening. So it didn't even do that well on Black Friday, which is just tragic. So here comes the stubborn part of EA, and what's really kind of upsets me is that they're not learning. Title from Eurogamer.net says, EA not giving up on microtransactions in Battlefront 2. And it is, God, it is really bad. So the chief financial officer, Blake Jorgensen, I believe is his name, he says, we're not giving up on the notion of MTX, which is microtransactions. We'll refer to microtransactions as MTX for the rest of this article right here. And so they asked him, we'll be able to buy loot boxes in Battlefront 2 again. Are we going to be able to purchase them in the future of Battlefront 2? And he says, we haven't decided yet. He says, we're really watching how people are playing the game. We're trying to understand there are certain modes where MTX may be more interesting than not. What consumers are saying about it, how consumers are playing the game, what do the metrics look like. We're learning and listening to the community to decide how best to roll that out in the future. He goes on saying, we did some testing around MTX model, but not enough to really understand some of the reactions we ultimately got. We pulled off the MTX because the real issue the consumer had was they felt it was a way to pay to win. It was a pay to win mechanic. It was a little worded different, sorry. The reality is there's different types of players in games. Some people have more money than time. Wow, okay. And some people have more time than money, and you want to balance. You always want to balance those two. And then he goes on to say the controversial thing for me at least is for us it's a learning experience. A learning experience. We are trying to run the company with an ear to the consumer at all times. Bullshit. Not only in the testing phase, but when the game is up and running, we're trying to build games that last for years, not for months. If we're not making mistakes along the way and learning from them, that's what you should worry about us. That's when you should worry about us, sorry. But our views is these are great opportunities for us to continue to tune the game, to adjust things, and basically just saying they went on to focus on the canon aspect of it and wanted to make sure everything was canonically, if that's a word. And so they just want to make sure everything was properly canon. So not only are they down in stock value, they're not refusing to get rid of microtransactions. The main thing people got rid of this game for, and the main reason people aren't buying it. So instead of going, you know what, we did something wrong here, why don't we fix this? They're going, all right, we did something wrong here, but let's try to fix it a little bit and roll it out again. You know, the thing that was broken, we're gonna put it back out. The thing that people didn't like, well, we're gonna put it back out once they've gotten over it. It's kind of like, and I hate to talk about it, but any gun shooting that ever happens in America, you know, the month afterwards, everyone's like, oh my God, we need gun reform. And then it kind of dies out and no one cares anymore. So it's stuff like this that always happens, and I'm assuming that's what they want to happen to this game. But it's really kind of sad that, you know, they're down in value, which is actually good for me because I hate them. But it's sad that they've gone down in value and they're still going, you know what? We're not the problem though. It's people. They don't have enough money or they don't have enough time. We still want your money, but we want to make sure we balance it for the people who, you know, want to play the game forever and people who just want to pay and get through it and everything. So it's really annoying, and I'm surprised that they've done this notion, and the financial officer should be fired, and they should hire me because I'm going to be majoring in finance and accounting, and I'll be able to run EA like a boss. But that's just my personal opinion. So comment your thoughts below. What do you guys think about them losing $3.1 billion in stock value and the fact that they're staying by microtransactions and they're not getting rid of them in the future, that they might bring them back in Battlefront 2? I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see y'all next time. May the Force be with you always.